Hello, Facebook. Hey guys, hope you guys are having a great Saturday. I have finally wrangled myself in to get this look done for you guys. And out of a recommendation, I had someone ask me to please start with, wanted me to see actually do my eyebrows. And so I didn't do my brows before this video, and that way I can kind of walk you through everything. But we're going to do this teal glitter eye, and we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to be using two different palettes today. I'm going to be using my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to be using a NYX glitter. And also I will be using the NYX glitter primer. Basically, this glitter primer, anytime you're using like a metallic or like a metal shadow, like a liquid shadow or even glitter, this particular glitter primer will make it stick and it will not move on you, and it will stay like the actual color when it starts out rather than fading over time. So we're going to try this out. Two new products for me. Couple of other products will be just different things, and I'll go through them with you. The majority of the products I'll be using today definitely are Limelight, of course. And so we will get this look started. Very first thing I'm going to do is we're going to start out with the Limelight Makeup Primer, giving us that smooth surface just to start out with. If you have pores or anything like that, it's going to get them all squared away, and you don't have all those lovely pores shining through. If you have pores as large as I do, then you totally get what I'm talking about. Now, I always start with my brows. Some people do things differently. So some people like to do their brows after they do, hey, Julie. Some people do their brows after they do all of their foundation, because they feel like that it wipes away part of their brows. It's totally however you want to do it. Me personally, I feel like it frames my look, so it starts framing my eyes and it gives me something to work with, especially when I'm doing some type of bold eye. So my absolute favorite brow is the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Dip Pomade. Now, two things here. If you like a really, really bold brow, so let's say you want something that's more of a statement, I do encourage like a pomade. If you are more of a lighter brow, don't want it to be super bold, I would tell you to start out with something like this. So for example, you can start out with any super fine tip pencil. It just happens to be that the Anastasia Beverly Hills happens to be one of my favorite brands, only because I feel like it's super easy to work with. Now, I like a little bit of a bolder brow. The Anastasia brush is super wonderful. Whenever you use a brow brush, you just want to make sure that it's like this, that it's super thin. So you don't want a really, really thick brush, because it gives you too much of like this harsh, bold line, okay? So we're going to start out, and all you're going to do is you take your brush, whatever brush you want to. I usually stick it right in the front, and I get product on both sides. If you get too much product on your brush, the best thing to do is just to wipe it or kind of put it on the back of your hand and then to work your brush through it if you find that you have too much product. So I just make sure that each side is covered, and then I get you don't see product all over it, and you don't want to do that. When you're doing your brows, you basically want to start here, and you're going to draw up and then over and then down, okay? And then I go into the top, and then I go back and I fill them in. So we're going to start here on this eye, and hopefully you guys can see. If you're just joining, drop a 1. If you are a replay watcher, please put #replay just so that I know who's watching. If you've got any questions along the way, shoot me a question. I'll be glad to answer it. All right, so we're going to start here, right here at the edge of our brow. You're doing short strokes, okay? Because if you do super long strokes, or you just draw a line, you're not creating those hairline strokes like you're going to find in your brows. So you essentially go up and then over. If you're not exactly sure where your brow should be, a while back I had shown people this particular trick. And I don't know, some of you may or may not have seen that particular video. The best way for you to figure out where your brows need to be, if you take a pencil, for example. If you take a pencil and you hold it square with your nose, okay? as you can see, my brows are pretty much on point. That's where it should end on this side, okay? If you take this pencil and you're going to lay it like at an angle, okay? That's where the top of your arch should be. And then if you go to the side, that's where your brow should end, all right? So when you're first starting, you do it here, here, and here. That's how you know if your brows are too thin or if you need to grow them out, all right? You can actually make little marks if you need to follow those along. And then at the top, I'm just going to go back in. I'm going to start over here. And I'm just going to do short hairline strokes. One of my eyebrows is, this eyebrow is pretty good shape. The other eyebrow I tend to have a little bit of trouble with. Now, I'm just filling this brow in. And what I will tell you, and then I go back with a spoolie brush. And then I just kind of blend it all together. All right. Now, I usually leave the front of my brow empty only because it's much as it, I mean, even right now you can tell that it's a lot thinner at the front than it is toward the back. So I usually go back with the fine pencil and fill in the front. All right. I'm just going to keep filling this in. And as you can see, I'm just doing those small strokes. If you get out of line or it's out of line for you, when I go back in with some concealer, I'm going to carve out my brows so that they're much more on point. So if I happen to get out of line a little bit, no big deal. We can totally fix that. Then I'm going to take at the front, and with a very light hand, that's the key. You don't want to make this too dark at the front because that's not how your hair naturally grows. And then I just brush through. And that brow is pretty much done. All right. I may work on it a little bit more once I carve it out just to make sure that it looks the way I want it to. Now, as I said, this eyebrow over here is a little bit funky. So it does not have the same arch as my other brow does. So it's almost like I have to make that arch the same. All right. So we're going to start here in the corner. I'm going to draw up short strokes. You're just creating those hairline strokes. And you really want your pomade. So whatever you're using to fill in your brows, you want it to be about the same color of your hair. Because if it's too light or if it's too dark, it just does not, it's just not going to look right. So this is the side that I always struggle a little bit more with. So hopefully you guys will stick with me. What are you guys up to today? You gonna do anything fun this weekend? I need to be taking down my Christmas decorations. We had a party at our house last night because I was supposed to come on last night. And, well, I have not started that process yet. I always love putting it up, but taking it down is not my most favorite thing to do. I don't know about you guys, but it's not my most favorite thing to do. Hey, Tina. Hey, Cindy, Shanna, I see all you guys. I don't know who's still there because I know people pop in and out. So I'm just taking my brush and I'm going like vertically up. So, and I'm going with a very light hand. We're just going to fill that in. And then I'm going to brush it through with the spoolie brush. I'm going to fill this in a little bit more. If you're just joining, please drop a 1 in the comments below and please share this video. There's a share button at the bottom that really helps me out as well. If you're a replay watcher, please type in #replay. All right. So, too cold. Oh, hey Tina. Hey Megan. So actually, Julie, I've always wanted to learn how to crochet. I don't know that I can do it. It's like, I wonder if I could pull that off. I don't know. All right. So I think that they're pretty on point. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to carve out these brows. So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush, okay? And I'm going to take my Limelight. I'm going to go in with my, thanks Tina for sharing my video. I'm going to go in with my concealer. This is Concealer Zero. This is my Limelight. And I'm just going to carve out these eyebrows. Hey, Peggy. All right. Here we go. I'm just going to go in the same area. And all this does is if I've made any boo-boos or errors with that pomade, this just helps cover those mistakes up and gives you that smooth edge around your brow. And I usually do my eyebrows off camera. I didn't realize that, well, like I said, I had an individual say, please do your brows on camera, because I feel like my brows take a little while, take me a little longer, only because I try to make them as, you know, look as good as I can. So we'll go in with the other one, and then I'll go back and I will smooth all that in using a foundation brush. You can use a beauty blender. Oh, Julie, you'll have to teach me. Yes, I would love to learn. Like I said, it just seems like it'd be so hard. But I could see how it would definitely pass the time along. I've always wanted to do like a scarf. I don't know that I could do a blanket, but I've heard that it's easy. But all right, so we're carving these out with the Concealer Zero. And I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush. And I'm just going to smooth this out. All right. I'm just going to take this brush. It's just a brush here. Thank you, Peggy, for sharing my video. I appreciate that. And I'm just smoothing out where I had that concealer. And you'll see how it really does carve them out. And it makes you look like, you know, your eyebrows are like on point, which is, hey, you know, a good thing. All right, next thing I'm going to do is this particular look. So this is the look we're going for. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this requires, anytime you have a very strong line on the side, that is a sign of either using tape or shadow shields. Shadow shields you can pick up at Walmart. And I learned a little trick. So I'm all about, like, if I can use things multiple times, I'm all for it. Before, I've always taken off both the top and the bottom stickers. But actually, when I was on Instagram, on Shadow Shield's Instagram account, I noticed that they only take off this top one, and it actually will stick for a second time. Beyond a second time, I don't think it's going to work that much. But for the second time, it definitely has worked. All right. Hey, Lori. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this right under the eyelashes. You want it to go to the corner of the eye. And it should hit right where your eyebrow ends on the side. Okay, so this is what's going to give it that harsh line. All right. You just look silly for just a few minutes. Otherwise, we're all good. Okay. So we're going to go over here. I'm having a hard time seeing in the actual camera. So I'm going to do this in my little mirror down here. Okay. So now that that's done, what this is going to do, if you want to use tape, you can use tape. And you're just going to tape off those same areas. And then it will give you that buildup of shadow and those really sharp lines. Hello, Lori. I actually did my brows, so you'll have to replay and see how I did my brows. All right. So now that that's done, now, if you go back and you look at this, at that particular picture, you can see that there's basically 3 to 4 colors that are used. In that photo, anytime you find a photo, say on Instagram, or if you find a photo on Google or wherever, you're like, if you look very closely, there are gradients of colors. And so in this particular one, they've used a yellow, they've used an orange, and they've used kind of a reddish brown color, and then they've gone in with the teal. That is a cut crease. So we'll have to go in with the cut crease and then do the glitter. Sounds really complicated, but I actually think it'll be one of the quicker eyes I've done. So, all right. I'm going to go in with, not this one, I'm going to go in with my Concealer 1. Concealer 1, Limelight Concealer. And I'm going to prime my eyes. So I'm just going to take my foundation brush and I'm going to put this over all the way up to my brow bone. And we're just going to use this as a primer so that the eyeshadow has something to stick to. You always want to use an eyeshadow primer when you first start putting on your eyeshadows. Hey guys, if you're just joining me, please drop a 1 below. If you are a replay watcher, please type in replay. And also, if you would share my video, it really does help me out a lot. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you to all those that have shared it. And thank you all you guys for joining me. All right. Once you get on this concealer or an eyeshadow primer, you want to lock it in with a translucent powder. So this is my Limelight translucent powder. I'm going to go in with my Morphe M510 brush, and I'm just going to put this over the top of this primer that I have put onto my eyes. And basically, this is just really going to help all those shadows blend well together, and it has something to stick to. All right, now that that's done. Okay, let me find my next brush here. I'm going to go in. I'm actually going to use an angled brush today, and I will be using the same brush really for every color. But this is a very angled look. If you look, you can tell that it's, thank you, it's very angled, so it allows you to really get in so that it creates that angle. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing. So we're going with the Jaclyn Hill palette. And I will list all the colors below after I get done with this video because I have to look on the back of here to figure out what colors I'm using. But the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go in with kind of a yellow tone because that looks like the color to me that they're starting with. It's kind of an orangey tone as well. Going to knock off the excess, and we're just going to start working this in. So we're going to start at the corner over here, and you're going to draw kind of up and then over. You want this to somewhat go up on your brow bone. So we're not going directly into that crease, okay? Because you want the gradients of colors to show up. You start out with a small amount and you work your way up. You never want to put on way too much. You can always add shadow. And it's, I mean, you can take away from it, but it's super hard. So it's easier just to start out with a little and just keep adding until you get the color that you're looking for. All right, so that's that. Do the other eye, start in the corner. We're going to kind of draw a line up and then over. And remember, like I said, we're going above the crease, okay? So the trick is, of course, is getting it to the right color that you want it. Now, the more shadow that you put over beside this shadow shield, or that you put by a piece of tape, whatever you're going to be using, the more pigmented it is right here at the corner. And so the more of that strong line you're going to see. Some people like a strong line, some people like a faint line. So it's totally up what your personal preference is. All right, so now that we've done that color, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to put in a red color. So I'm going to be using this color here. And again, like I said earlier, I will list all of these colors in the bottom after I get done with this video so you know what colors I've used. And I'm using my Limelight brushes. Guys, these Limelight brushes changed my life. I'm telling you, they're amazing. They are so incredible. All right. So we're going to go in the same exact area that we did this, only it's going to be just a little bit below this orange. So we're going to mix the colors together, but you still want to see, you're going to go down more towards that crease, but you still want to see the top of that orangey yellow color that we just used. You don't want to cover it up completely. So you can see there's like this yellow and then down. All right. You have a bunch of creases. Sandra, you're too funny. All right. We all do. All right, so we're going to start over here. We're going to do the exact same thing. And really, you're almost in your actual eye crease. So that actual crease where your eyelid and then that meets, okay? You're almost right in that crease, but not quite. All right. Now that we've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in with a fluffy brush. I'm going to use this as my Limelight 08 brush, and I'm just going to run this through both colors so that it blends them out. You want them just to blend really well together. The idea is to have, like I've mentioned before, the gradients. You just want to kind of diffuse those colors down. All right. Now we're going to go back in, and this time I'm going to use a more fluffy brush, okay? And I'm going to be going directly into my crease, okay? I'm going to go in, this is more of a brown color, but I'm going to use this color here, which almost has, hopefully you can see it, has kind of a hint of maybe like gold in it, like a goldish brown, maybe a little bit of a purple. We're going to use that as our next color that's going to go directly into our crease, okay? So I'm just going to dab my brush in, knock off the excess, and we're going to go directly into that eye crease. And I'm going to start on the outside now. The reason I'm starting on the outside, I'm going to do circular motions because I really want that color to build up. And then I'm going to do windshield wipers. Okay. Put a little bit more. All right, we're going to do the other side. How many of you hear Charlie? Can anybody hear Charlie whining? He's at the door whining. Oh, I think he's hungry. All right, so circular motions, windshield wiper. Oh, what I was going to tell you was, so this is the darkest color that I'm using in my crease, okay? Why do I want to start over here? Because I want this, he's crying, Tina. I want this to really be a bold cut line whenever I take off the shadow shield. This is the color I want to see the main difference in, okay? Now I'm going to go in with a little bit of a different brown. I feel like it's not quite the brown that I was wanting. Had a little bit too much red in it. So again, I'm just doing circular motions and working my way over. You can hear him, Tina. He is rotten. If you guys would like to meet Charlie, throw up some hearts and I'll bring him in here and put him on camera. He'll even smile for you, probably. He smiles for cameras. Oh, little Charlie. He hears his mama in here. All right, so a little bit more over here. I'm almost creating like a V shape. And I'm going directly into that crease. Oh, y'all do want to meet Charlie? Okay, hang on just a second. Okay, let me grab him. Come on, Charlie. Come here. Come here. Come here. Here's Charlie. Say hi, Charlie. Say hello. Hi. Say, I'm a little spoiled. I'm just a little spoiled. I'm hungry. My mommy doesn't feed me enough. I mean, he's definitely not fat at all, are you? No, he's just well loved. We'll see if Dad will give him some food. Say bye, Charlie. Say bye, everybody. All right. Come on. Come on. Niles, would you please feed them? Niles? Niles, would you please feed them? Okay, I'm back. Hopefully I didn't lose too many people. All right, let's see. No, he doesn't want makeup. He just wants us. He wants to eat. He's always hungry. So you don't, let's see, you don't apply dark colors well. You tend to go neutral colors. I usually do too, Melissa. Sweet Charlie. Yeah, he is a sweet boy. I usually do neutral colors as well, like on a day-to-day basis. This is just a fun look. It's just changing it up. Once you play with them a little bit, you may actually learn to really love them. I have. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go in, because this part's done. That's it. That's all you have to do. Now we're going to do that cut crease that I was talking about, just so that we can go back in with the turquoise, and then this eye is complete. And I actually brought him on camera. You missed him. He's a sweet baby boy. He's a little rotten, but he's a sweet boy. All right. Let me find my concealer that I need. I'm going to use my Concealer Zero on this one. I'm going to go in with this brush. A small angled brush is the best brush in the world for creating an angled crease. Also, little side note. Let's say you're like, Brooke, I can't figure out how to use these brushes. You can actually take a spoon, and when you're doing all of this, you hold the spoon over your eyelid, and you will not get shadow on your eyelid. You actually can create these same colors by holding a spoon and just running the colors back and forth. Maybe that's helpful for some people. All right, so I'm going to go in with my Concealer Zero, just a thin brush, a thin angled brush, and I'm going to cut out. I'm going to run this along the crease. When you get out to the edge, usually what I do is you can cut it however you want it to look. I like mine to kind of go out to an angle, all right? Once you cut out the top, you're just going to fill in the whole lid with the concealer. We're covering up all that color, getting that blank slate on the eyelid. So that when I go in with, and also what it will do is it's going to create a strong line. If you can see that line here, it creates a bold line between the two colors. It's just another fun little technique. I do love cut creases. If you have hooded eyes and you can't see all of your shadow colors on your eyes, you feel like you put shadow on but you can't see the colors, this is a way to help with seeing the colors. And it just depends on how high you cut the crease up. So if you want to cut it above your actual crease so that it goes up higher to see the colors, you can do that. All right, once you put the concealer on, you do have to go back with a translucent powder and put that over the top of the concealer. Okay, so I'm going to go in, and you're just using a translucent powder. I'm using my Limelight translucent powder, and we're just laying that on the top of it. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the other one, and then I will go in with the teal color. This is going to be like this really fun, bold eye. Oh, I cannot wait. All right. Fun colors. Why not? All right. So we're going to go over here. We're going to cut out this eye. Not literally. But. And then I'm just going to make the same. I'm making the same cut over here. You can create this line however you want to. I'm just going to put mine right there, though, so that it matches the other side. I think they match. I think they're pretty close. What do you guys think? All right. Now I'm going to go back in. I'm just going to fill in this lid. Once I do this, we're going to take the translucent powder and go back. And just put it over the top of the concealer. All right, go in with my brush. Just cover this up. Okay, now moving on to that fun, bold teal color. All right. we're going to be using this color down here, which is amazing. This is such a fun color. And then we'll use the glitter to go on the bottom. All right. Now, on this particular look, I'm going to use a little bit of my primer spray onto the brush. So I'm going to put the color, I'm going to use a flat brush, okay? And I'm going to put the color on the brush, and then I'm going to spray the brush so that it makes it extremely pigmented. It's going to almost lay like a gel onto my eye. I'm just going to put it on one side of the brush. I put a good bit. This is about how much I put on it. And then I'm going to spray it so it makes it wet. You could use water if you wanted to. You can use any color. Any liquid. And I'm just going to lay this right on top of where I cut that crease out. Look at that color. Y'all, I never do eyes like this. This is going to be fun. Niles likes neutral colors. Melissa, if you're still here, I totally get it. He likes neutral colors. But there's nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun. Y'all, is this color not amazing? Or maybe it's just me. What do we think? What do we think of the color? Anybody? We like it? I'm going to go back and I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm loving this color. And oh my God, with that glitter, yes, it is going to be amazing. All right. You can keep adding layers according to how bold you want it. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do the other eye, so I'm going to put a little bit more on it, on the brush. I'm going to spray it. If you want to use a water spray, you can. If you want to use a primer spray, you can. Any liquid works great. The trick is with this is you want to stay on that concealer line. You don't want to go above it. If you mess up, though, we have a way of fixing it with a pencil brush, which I'm probably going to go in and use anyways. Wow. Who would ever thought that I'd have blue eyeshadow on? Y'all don't understand. I'm definitely a neutral kind of person. But today, why not? This is incredible. Aww. That is like so bold. What do we think? Thumbs up if we like the blue. What do we think? Anybody out there? I know people are watching. All right. Now what I'm going to do is, as you can see right here, where you see that cut crease is, I'm going to go back with a pencil brush because I want to, thank you, Rebecca. Actually, that was not Rebecca. Maybe it was Rebecca. No, it was, I can't remember who that was. I saw it for a second. Anyways, thank you very much. All right, so I'm going to go back in. I'm going to go back in with this. Let's see. Can you see it? I think you can. We're going to use this brown color, okay? And I'm going to use a pencil brush. This is my Limelight number 11. You can buy the Limelight brushes individually, and each of them have an individual price. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab this in to that color, knock off the excess. And the pencil brush basically just really lets me get to a specific area just like a pencil would. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to run this along that line right where the blue and the brown meet. And I'm just going to darken it up. All the way down. All right. Get a little bit more. Do this side. This is really going to help with that cut crease. All right. We will do the bottom part of the eye and the glitter, one of the very last things we do after we get our foundation on. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back with my Morphe brush, and I'm just going to blend very lightly with a super light hand. Basically all of those top colors. Just going to diffuse those out. All right. Now, I need a highlighter right here. I need a super light color that's going to be kind of this bold color that's going to just lift my eyes. All right. So I'm going to go back in with this palette, my Morphe Jaclyn Hill, and I'm going to be using a cream color. I'm going to use my Limelight 08 brush, and I'm just going to fill this in right up here where there is no shadow. All right. Do the other side. And voila. Okay. Now we're going to do, let's see, we're going to go in and do a little bit of eyeliner on that top lid. I'm going to use my Limelight Smudge Proof, waterproof eyeliner that is incredible. Does not move, does not budge. It is amazing. Also super easy to create a wing because it's got this really fine point. When you have on shadow shields, as I've told you before, it really helps you learn how to do a winged eyeliner because you have basically a guide to follow on each side of your eye. So we're going to draw a line up and then over, and then we're going to just join those two lines together. I cannot talk when I'm doing eyeliner. As you guys know, it is not something that I am able to do. I wish I could, though. I'm going to do kind of a more thick line on the outside of my eye for this look, and then thinner as it goes to the inner corner of my eye. Shake this out a little bit. Because it looked like in the picture that it was thinner toward the front and thicker towards the back. I'm not going to do a huge wing today. All right, there we go. Okay, do the other side. Do my best to match them. I really wish I could learn how to talk and put on eyeliner, but I struggle. With that badly. Okay, almost done. I'll go back over it one more time. And I think they're pretty close. Pretty sure they are. All right, let's take off these shadow shields and see what we have. See if we need to doctor them up any. Let's see. Hey, Lauren, I just saw where you said hello. All right. Take these off, and voila. I think they are pretty close. What do we think? Pretty close? Pretty darn close. But do you see how it creates that sharp edge? You guys, if you're just joining, please drop a 1 below. If you're a replay watcher, please type #replay in the bottom. And also don't forget to share this video because it says really help me out. All right. Now that that is done, we're going to add the glitter in the bottom part of our shadow after we get our foundation done. I find that it's just easier that way, and plus the glitter can sometimes, although this new stuff I got, I think it's supposed to like stay. So we're going to see if it works or not. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Limelight foundation. This is Olive 1, and I need my foundation brush. Where is it? All right, here we go. And remember, movable, 50% pigmented, great color coverage, doesn't settle in your creases or your wrinkles. Amazing. You guys are missing out if you do not have Limelight foundation. I'm just going to put this on, and I'm going to go back with my Beauty Blender, and I'm going to smooth all of this out. All right, you can use a brush, you can use a Beauty Blender, you can use a sponge, you can use an artiste brush, you can use basically any tool that you like or that you prefer with this foundation. I'm stippling this in. You don't want to smear it. And whenever you're over here near where your eyeshadow is, you really just want to be careful so that you don't smear all your colors. That was like one of the easiest eyes I've done. Who all agrees? It's pretty simple. Who's going to give it a try? Anybody going to give it a try? Going to try to recreate this look? Hopefully you guys do. That's the whole point of doing these. All right, let's see. All right, today, now that that's done, I'm going to be using, let's see, the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. All right. And I'm going to suck in my cheeks, going to find those crevices, and I'm going to draw those lines. Let's see. On this side, this side, down each side of my nose, around the bottom, and all around my chin. And I said chin. Y'all have no idea. Tina, honey, you know what? You're bestie, as you know. I do this, so I will work with you and teach you how to do it. It is not hard, I promise. All right, today what I'm going to use, actually I'm just going to use my Beauty Blender. I'm going to use my Blenderful. And I'm going to press this in. So the same thing, you're stippling this in. And at the same time, I'm almost like pushing it up just a little bit, if that makes sense. So I'm just pressing in and pushing up. Okay? So there you go. Tina, you know I've got you, girl. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to keep doing the same thing up here. I'm just going to press this in all around my hairline. I need you to get well so we can hang out, Tina. All right. Press this in. Over here, press it in and go up. Hey, Felicia. Pressing in and up. Hey guys, if you're just joining, please drop a 1. You're a replay watcher, please put in replay, type in replay, and also if you share this video, it really helps me out. Thank you. And I know I always repeat myself, but there's so many people that join throughout. All right. All around the nose. Yes, you do. Most definitely. It needs to go away. Now I'm just going around my chin. And I am dragging this down a little bit just so that it matches my neck. Okay. All right. Next thing. I'm going to go in with this kit. This is Found. This is at Walmart. It's like $3.86. It's a Sculpt and Define Contour palette. And I'm going to use, let's see. I'm going to use my Limelight number 01 brush. I'm going to dip in both colors. And on this, I'm going to start at my ear and work my way down. Kind of like just in sweeping motions, but it's the main pigment's going to be up here. And we're just going to blend this together. I'm almost going to create like this half moon, half circle shape as I go down. Because it's just going to cut it out so that my face looks more slender and not quite so round. All right. I'm going to do the other side. Start at the top, then down. Okay, I'm going to do up by my hairline. And I've actually, so there's many different ways to contour different types of faces, different shaped faces. You can go on YouTube and you can type in like face shape contouring and it will tell you how to measure your face so that you can see actually how yours should look or where you should contour specifically. Because if you have an oval face or a round face or like a triangle, I mean, there's just all sorts of different shaped faces. Oblong, not so much triangle, but oblong. There's all these different shapes and you need to figure out how to contour your specific shape face. I may try to do a tutorial on that. Who would like me to do a tutorial on different, for different face shapes on contouring and highlighting where you should contour? Throw up an emoji or type it down on below if you would like that or not. Just going to blend this out down on my neck. And now I'm going to go back in with a more defined brush. So something that's kind of flat. And I'm going to run this down the side of my nose, around the edge. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to use a stiffer brush. And I'm going to, thank you for the heart. Okay, so you would like me to do that. I can do that. All right. I'm just smoothing this out where I put that contour on my nose. All right. Now what I'm going to do is, well, I've left my bronzer. Hang on just one moment. I'm going to go in my Laura Geller bronzer. I'm going to use that same brush that I used, the Limelight brush, and I'm going to go into that same area that I just did. Bronzer just adds a little bit of glow. If you don't like contouring, you don't have to contour. It's just an extra little bonus that some people love and some people just aren't really sure how to do it. What's the best way to get a color match for the foundation? You send me a private message. Send me a selfie photo, just in normal lighting, whether, preferably with no makeup, but you can have a little bit of makeup if you want to. But the idea is you want to capture the closest to your skin color. So if your foundation is a little bit darker than your actual skin color, then I would tell you to do it without makeup on. But you want to be in normal lighting, whether it's sunlight or just normal lighting in the house, just where it gets a good look, or it gives you just good lighting is what you need. And you send me that photo and I match you up. It's super easy. And I also send you a couple of questions like, do you burn easily? Like if you burn, do you tan quicker or do you tan easily? Or, do you burn and then it turns to tan? There's just a few different questions and then we match you up that way. Super duper easy. Doesn't take much time at all, but that's all I need is just for you to send me an up close selfie. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of highlighting. I'm going to go in with, I'm going to use my concealer 0, okay? And this is where I'm going to use, or that's where I'm going to put the triangular shapes right underneath here. Okay. You're very welcome, Rebecca. All right. I'm going to put it down the bridge of my nose, here between my eyes, on my Cupid's bow, down the middle of my chin, and then on the side over here, this bottom contour line. Why triangular? So the reason why triangular, so if you just do like this sweeping motion, okay, what this does is so when you're doing contour, you're doing highlighting, it's the way light catches your face, okay? So it's meant to just draw your face in. It's meant to put light wherever it needs to be. I hope that's the best way to describe it. I mean to come up with a better definition for you, Julie. But it's basically going to give you, it's meant to give your face like a smaller effect. So like drawing the light where it needs to go, pulling it down. So if it's pulling down to a point, it's not just like rounded, if that makes sense. Is that helpful? Maybe that's helpful. Maybe it's not helpful. All right. Over here on the side, you're going to take where the bottom of that contour line is, and you basically draw a line at the bottom of where that contour is, and then you're creating this circular shape. Again, we're cutting our face. This is mainly for a round face, I guess I should say, so that my face looks smaller. I'm drawing the light. You're very welcome. I'm drawing the light where I want the light to go. I want my face to appear slender, okay? Go to the bottom of that contour line, and we're drawing this circular shape. Now, I will tell you, you can use other concealers to do this. Why I love the Limelight to do this is because it's movable. For example, I sometimes use this called Mally. Mally. It's a complexion. I use this for highlighting. If you don't like spread it fast enough, it dries and then it gets cakey. The Limelight does not get cakey, and it's buildable and movable. So if it sits here, the longer it sits here, the easier it is to move around because it's a wax based, okay? That's why I love the Limelight the best for highlighting, as well as even just your normal concealer. Now I'm going to press this into those areas in that same shape. Go up the bridge of the nose. And honestly, I also like it because it feels like skin. I don't feel like I have on makeup. It's just like skin, which is the part that I love the most about this makeup. The fact that you can build something and for it not to get cakey and it feels like skin is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Going down here. And again, we're just stippling this in. And I actually pull this color whenever I am stippling this in. I will run it up over the top of where I put that the contour, only because I feel like it really blends it out some. And just kind of diffuses that color a little bit. All right. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a little bit of baking. Baking is something you can do extra. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Limelight translucent powder here, and I'm going to use my beauty blender, and I'm merely just going to put this on this beauty blender, and I'm just going to cover up these areas where I put that concealer, just so that it really brightens them, brightens those areas. It's creating those shadows. It's creating those cuts so that the face looks smaller. The power of makeup. But everywhere I just put that, we're going to put powder on it, and we're going to let it sit while we do some other things. Okay, voila. All right, so we're going to let it sit, and then we'll go back and dust it off in a little bit. All right, next thing we're going to do is, let's see. I'm going to go back in with my Brow Wiz, and I'm just going to make sure that any areas that I messed up while I was doing my foundation are no longer, or fix those areas that may have smudged or smeared when I was doing that. I just want those lines to be super crisp. Sometimes when you're doing your foundation, it can definitely mess up. All right, perfect. And that is done. Now, normally I leave this on my face, this particular powder, for up to 10 minutes. I'm going to leave what's under my eyes, but I'm going to go ahead and dust off this part. And this part, just for the sake of time. I'm going to leave what's on my cheeks and as well as what's on my, underneath my eyes for just a little bit longer. Because the longer it sits, the better it works. Now I'm going to take, my Anastasia. This is in the color chocolate. It's a tinted brow gel. And I'm just going to paint my eyebrow hairs up so that they stand up and not just over. Gives the appearance of them being thicker and also just a more natural look. Also, if you've got any powder on them from when we did all that translucent powder, this takes it off the hair so that you don't look like you have powdered eyebrows. Okay. All right. Now, let's get to work on these bottom eyes. See if we can pull this look together and be done. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do down here is a couple of things. What they did is they did not use a black liner on the bottom of the eye. They used the same blue that we used on the lid. They used that at a very close around the edge of the eye. So I'm going to use my pencil limelight brush. I'll give you that number again. But we're going to go in with this color that we used on the lid. And let me find my pencil brush. Pencil brush. Here we go. So here's the pencil brush. This is Limelight number 11. Again, you can buy these brushes individually. Amazing brushes. Brushes will change your life. I have lots of different brushes. I have e.l.f. brushes. I have inexpensive ones, but these brushes truly are incredible. All we're going to do is we are going to line right underneath those eyelashes. We're going to have to do it a few times to build up the color that you're wanting to build, or get to the color that you're wanting. I'm going to go all the way to the corner. So I'm going all the way to this corner. Do the other side. Seems like these colors are really, really pigmented, so I'm basically only having to go back twice to get to the color that I want. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to go in, let's see, I'm going to use this brush. This is just a Sephora brush, and I'm going to do this glitter now. And I have purchased this NYX glitter primer. So I found this at Ulta. The girl that I was talking to, I was telling her, you know, what I'd use, eyeshadow glue. Oh, heaven help me. Eyelash glue last time I did glitter. And it did work great, but it was a little hard to get off. But so this is supposed to be a lot better, and it will really stick, and it's tacky. All we're going to do is we're going to put this right here in this corner, okay? Because that is the way that particular eye looks. So it's right here in the corner and right underneath. All right, so we're going to flatten out this brush a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of this on top of my hand just so I can kind of control the product better. Put this back on. And actually, I think I need a more pointed brush. I'm going to use this brush instead. I feel like I can have more control over it. It's smaller. This is from Walmart, just a no-name brand brush. But I wanted to be able to control the area more, and I think that this brush will allow me to do that. All right, so all we're going to do is we're going to put this on the inside. And I'm going to pull it down just a little bit. I want it to be in the corner and just a little bit under the lashes. Hopefully you can see that. If you can see that, throw up an emoji for me where I'm putting it. All right. Hopefully you guys can. Let's see. Over here on this side, same thing. Pull it down under the eye a little bit. And I'm just waiting a few minutes just for it to get a little bit more tacky. Because she said if you waited a little bit, it would get tacky on you, which is the idea, so that the glitter will stick to it. All right, now let's get this glitter out. This is NYX glitter. It's in the color, it's GLI03. It's basically just the color of the shadow that I've used. And it's brand new, so I'm having to open it. I'm just going to put a little bit in the lid. I'm going to use the exact same brush I just used to put this on with. And you basically just dab your brush in it. It's going to stick to it because it's got that tacky stuff. And we're just going to lay this right where we put I'm going to have to go back and clean this up a little bit. I can see that now. And I'm just setting this on it. Not smearing it, just setting it. And I'm going to go back with a brush here in just a moment and clean this up a little bit. Okay, now to clean this up some. Here we go. I'm going to use this brush, and I'm just going to sweep up so that it's closer to that lash line. Now, this is eye glitter. I would not recommend just doing any kind of glitter because glitter is definitely an eye irritant, so I would be careful. I wouldn't use just any glitter off of a shelf. Make sure that you do get makeup glitter. That way, if it gets in the eye, it's not a big deal. All right, I'm going to go back in with my foundation brush. I'm just going to kind of tap that. I'm not sure I like the NYX stuff. I'm not sure I like it. I'm going to play with it, see if I like it or not. All right, now that that's done, I'm going to dust off this other makeup. Use this brush. Dust this off underneath the eyes where we were baking. Oh, thank you, Lauren. Just going to dust off all this glitter. Hopefully most of this glitter will come off as well. Okay. Now, I'm going to use, actually, I'm going to use a different a different other highlighter. Okay, so I did a video on this. This is a Limelight Bare Metals palette. Guys, this actually can dual. It can be for your eyeshadows as well as a highlighter. I discovered the highlighter. Love it as a highlighter. I use, let's see, I actually use my Morphe brush that I've been using earlier. And I use this color here, which is kind of a gold color. You can use these other gold colors if you wanted to. This color is an incredible highlighter, though. I love it. So I dab my Morphe brush in it. And all I do is I rub it right through here. And you will see it begin to shine. All right. I put a little bit more. Y'all, that shine is amazing. Who can see the shine? Look at this. Woo! I have so many different highlighters, and this is like my favorite. And it's meant to be a shadow palette. Who would have thought? A dual. You can actually buy the kit where it has the eyeliner in it with the brush, as well as the Bare Metals palette. That is an incredible palette, guys, but I love it as a highlighter. All right, I'm going to put a little bit on the tip of my nose. Put a little bit at the top. I don't put it all the way down the bridge of my nose, just right here at the top. I do put a little bit on my temples. In my Cupid's bow. Y'all, incredible. I'm telling you, you would love this palette. You need to message me about this. This is crazy. I love it. All right. Now we need to do a little bit of blush. I'm going to go with my angled Limelight brush. This is the number 03. We're going to use Limelight blushes, of course. I'm just going to go up exactly where I was using the contour. So right below that highlighter and then right above that contour. All right. Now throw on a little bit of lipstick. This is the color Stripped Liquid Lipstick. This is Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's a matte color. It's like my new favorite color. It's like pink. All right, I need to put on a little bit of my Limelight finishing spray just to lock everything in for 16 hours. And totally forgot to do mascara. Who would have thought? All right, I'm going to do, of course, I'm going to use my Limelight mascara. And for the sake of pictures, I may actually put on a pair of falsies once I get off camera, but we will for now put this on. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go. All right. Throw in a little bit of mascara. Guys, if you're just joining me, please type in a 1. If you're a replay watcher, please put in hashtag replay at the bottom. It really helps me out. And also down at the bottom, there's a share button. Please, please, please share my video. It really does help me out. All right. This has fibers in it. This is One Step Fiber Mascara. I'm going to show you the difference in my lashes. So I'm going to put on, I usually put on 2 coats. You can put on just one if you want to, but it has fibers in it. The fibers do not fall off onto your face. I've tried lots of different fiber mascaras. And this one definitely makes your lashes super long. And I like it because the fibers stay. Gives you length, gives you volume, waterproof. It's not going anywhere. And it makes your lashes look amazing. Gives you that falsy look without wearing falsies. If you've not tried out the mascara, I'm telling you, it is definitely One of my favorites. All right. Put on a little bit bottom down here. I've got a little bit of mascara on my face. All right, I'm going to put on one more coat. Just so you guys can see the difference. Okay, check this out. Like, who can see the difference? Because this to me is incredible without wearing falsies. I mean, look how long my lashes are. Amazing. Love this mascara. One Step Fiber. All right, let's put on the other eye. Thank you for all the hearts. If you guys got any questions about particular products I've used, whether it's Limelight or not, if you want me to get you the name of something, shoot me a message. If you need to be color matched, shoot me a message. Whatever you need, I am your girl, and I'm here to help out. Okay. Almost done. Put a little bit on the bottom. Put one more coat up here. Now, in the photo that I shared with you guys on Facebook, that girl is wearing like super big falsies in that photo. If you really wanted to create that exact look, I would tell you that you do need a pair of good falsie lashes. Okay. All right. And we are done. All right. So, you guys, super easy. It was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you guys like this look. If you want me to do some particular look, please reach out to me and let me know. If you've got a question or if you need some one-on-ones, I'm your girl. I can do FaceTimes with you if you've never used a lot of makeup. I can help you with that. We can get you squared away. We can do color matching, whatever you need. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your afternoon. We'll see you next time. Bye.